because we would rather do this. We would much rather do this, and we appreciate that. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate that. We're now joined by Kansas State football coach Chris Klieman. Great to have you on. You saved us from going to a commercial break. We'll push that back. It's kind of like an official's review. How you doing, man? How's your summer?
It's great. It's football season now. Once you get to media days, we got a couple more weeks to enjoy ourselves. But the guys are working hard, and there's a lot of energy around the Big 12, that's for sure.
How and what do you do, if you do, to get away and decompress away from being a head football coach?
You really can't.
Okay.
You do the best you can and shut it down for a day here and there. The biggest thing for me is getting out of the office, and if I'm in town somehow, I'm going to end up in the office. So whether it's getting out of town on a golf trip, going and seeing family, or just getting away with my wife, just trying to get away for a few days here and there to just try to decompress and recharge your batteries, because we all know it's a grind once you get started here come August 1st.
Are you spending more time now on off-the-field stuff than ever before? I mean, as far as just the NIL pieces and the realignment rumors because that comes into play when you're talking to recruits and whatnot. Is there a lot more time spent on things outside of football than maybe in years past?
Yeah, a ton more. And not just, roster management in general. And when I say roster management, being around your players as often as you can and building a relationship with somebody. There's 125 guys roughly on our team. Can you connect with everyone every day? No, but you need to try to connect with those kids. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's something that you say to that kid that's going to get him through a tough time. And just always building so that you're not losing and revamping your roster, because that's, if they didn't get rid of the 25 initials, all of us would have been in some problems, I'm assuming, as far as can you get to 85? And now we have the ability to try to get to 85. And so between that and all the new rules that, I know Shane Lyons is here he's been on some committees, and Gene's talking to him, RAD. What new rules are coming out? When are they going to come into play? I mean, control what you can control, but it's going to change.
Mm-hmm. You have a unique team. You have more players in the preseason All Big 12 team than any other team, no matter who they were. That says quite a bit, because you have really good talent. That doesn't matter because you still have to win the game. But you seem to have a really nice team coming back. Would you agree?
Well, it's been a work in progress. We got here in 2019, and now we're 3+ years into this, going into our 4th season. I knew it was going to take some time to adjust some of the things that were our style. Bill did a great job, and we have all the facilities because of Coach Snyder and what he has done, but you still have to put your own spin on things. And so for us, we're finally at that stage where I feel like our locker room's as strong as it's ever been. They're pushing each other as players. They're holding each other accountable to the high standard on a daily basis of the expectations of doing it the Kansas State way, which is their way as leaders. And we're developing guys. And that's all these guys that are all conference have been in our program either 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 years. And that's how you look at some of the teams that have been really good, whether it was Oklahoma State, last year to Iowa State. You got older kids, and that's hard to do, but we've got to try to continue to keep veteran kids and have them stay.
You've, I'm sure, been asked about Adrian Martinez a little bit. I'm sure you've been asked about Deuce Vaughn and guys that littered that preseason All Big 12 team. Who is maybe a player or players that are not being talked about enough in your mind?
Well, 2 kids that are here. Daniel Green is a great inside linebacker. Mm-hmm. Eli Huggins is a great nose tackle. Eli split time last year with another really good kid, Timmy Horn, that we brought in as a transfer. Well, Eli's going to play more football for us this year, play more snaps, and Daniel Green are phenomenal players. And then the other one that doesn't get talked about enough, but people in the league know who he is, and that's Julius Brents. Mm-hmm. He's 6'3", he's 215 pounds, and he's a shutdown corner. You don't find those kids a whole lot coming to Kansas State. And he transferred from Iowa in a very similar situation to Adrian. Iowa didn't want to lose him, but the kid was looking for another opportunity to go play and not be a role guy, but be the guy. And we were able to land him here, and he's had a really good year last year, and I think he's going to have an all Big 12 type season this year.
You said something that made me come up with a question. You see this day and age, there's this arms race for bigger, more money, all this stuff. If Kansas State had what some of the logo schools so-called have, that extra money or more and more and more, it wouldn't change who you were or are, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Just build us a bigger airport that more flights can fly into. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we have great facilities. We're building a brand new indoor that is phenomenal. That'll be done at Thanksgiving this year, and it'll give us another great thing for recruiting, as well as 200-yard fields side by side with one being a lighted field, one being an indoor. But we tell people all the time, Kansas State's really a hidden gem. Manhattan, Kansas is a hidden gem, but you got to get here and see it. And that 16 months where we lost, where kids couldn't go to our place, and then when they had a chance to come, it's easier to go to places right around the Metroplex and stuff, and it's a little harder to come to Manhattan. Now those kids are starting to come to Manhattan saying, holy cow, you're building that? Wow, you've got that? And that's what our sell is right now. Plus, we've got a support staff and a coaching staff doing a great job of pounding kids through phone and Twitter and everything else.
Is Manhattan, Kansas, though, really almost like a typical most college towns? It's just like you said, the access to get there can be tough?
Yeah, I would say that. And I haven't been in a lot of college towns. You know,
right.
Fargo, North Dakota is 300,000 people. You know, and there's a lot of things going on there. Everything revolves around Kansas State University and around the athletics program, and that's something that's really unique. And, you know, our kids walk anywhere in the mall, and you could be the third-team left tackle or you could be Deuce Vaughn. You're going to get pulled by some kid and ask for an autograph or a picture, and that's pretty unique at Kansas State. And so I'm excited about this year, and I'm excited about what we have. We're on the right trajectory. We've got a lot more in us, but we're on the right trajectory.
Deuce Vaughn, I have to ask about him. I mean, I do the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, best player in the state of Texas, and he was a finalist, and he was there for the ceremony last year and came up just short, but just tremendous player. Having him back, I mean, how exciting is that? And just what are you looking for in him? Because you've already seen so much. So what is kind of the message to Deuce heading into this year?
Well, for starters, I was at the Earl Campbell Award.
Yep.
What a great award that is, and well run, and so excited to be able to go down there and represent with Deuce and his family. He's stronger. He's a little heavier. He's got great balance anyway. He's understanding the game more about how ways people are trying to bracket cover him, or knowing who's coming on a blitz. And, okay, we check the play. He just, the cerebral part of it, he's getting more and more comfortable with. We know people are going to stack him, try to stop him, but we've got a quarterback who really can run now. People forget Malik Knowles is back. The kid's a talented kid. Phillip Brooks is back. Cade Warner's back. We have a lot of pieces around him, and he's the type of kid that, hey, if I don't get my yards, don't get my carries, and we find a way to win, hey, let's go. I'm happy, because sooner or later they're going to have to shut those guys down, and then it's going to open up for me.
How has Adrian transitioned from, obviously he was an incredibly high-level recruit to Nebraska, and at times was brilliant. At times it just didn't work out. How have your team accepted him?
I credit Adrian an awful lot, simply because he didn't participate in spring ball this year from an injury he had at Nebraska. And rather than coming in saying, this is my team and here's how we're going to do things, he was kind of behind the scenes and just built relationships, built bonds, engaged with guys, went to lunch with guys, watched film with guys, because he wasn't practicing, wasn't doing some of those things. Then he practiced the last two practices of spring ball, and I think people went, oh boy, okay, now this kid can do this. And now watching him in the summer, he's infectious personality. He's a mature kid, and our guys really gravitate to him.
I feel like you could, and you have rattled off some of them, and you could go down the Big 12 preseason list, the standout names that you have, and now you add Adrian to that mix. So you knew coming in before Adrian that you were going to have a pretty good team, I would imagine, the way you finished last year. But when you got the word from him, he's going to be a Wildcat, what was your initial reaction?
Excitement, because we were looking for a bridge-the-gap guy for a year. We weren't looking for a 3-year transfer because we like the young quarterbacks in our program. Will Howard's still going to be a really good quarterback in this league. There's no question. Kid's played an awful lot of football, and he might still be a freshman in 2023. That's a crazy thing. Exactly right. But that's COVID.
Yeah.
But we knew we probably needed to add some veteran piece to that room without saying, Will, you're not good enough, or Jake Rubley or Jaron Lewis or anybody else. We have good, talented kids in that room. We just needed to add a little bit of experience to it, and Will be a great benefit from learning from Adrian for a year or two.
When I say Dave Aranda, what do you think?
He's so full. No. He's
Man, that would have been good. But
he's become a really good friend.
Yeah, I could tell. I saw you guys having a conversation, and just the whole time it looked
just mutual respect for what we've done. We're both defensive-minded head coaches. I was so excited that he got an opportunity that you didn't have to be a head coach for Baylor to take a chance on him. I was a head coach at Little North Dakota State that nobody thinks is worth a darn. And Gene Taylor said, no, you do at that level, you can do it here. And so Gene took a chance on me. And so it takes an opportunity. People are saying, well, you're taking a chance on Colin Klein. Okay, I am. But some people you just need to give an opportunity to. And I think Dave got an opportunity, and I got an opportunity, and we share that bond with each other. And I think the same thing with Colin Klein. Why didn't you go out and get the hot shot guy at somewhere? Because I had a guy that was right in our program that has a legacy greater than all of us at K-State that deserved the opportunity. And I so appreciate people that worked their tail off for that opportunity.
With Colin and the weapons you have on offense and Adrian coming in, you look around the rest of the league and some of the moves offensively or the coaches in place. Very heavy defense last year. Still going to be some great defenses, but do you see a little bit of a change as far as the offenses and kind of the minds involved and more of the up-tempo passing the ball around?
Yeah, but there's some talented defensive kids in this league, and you still, if you can rush the quarterback, I don't care how good that scheme is, and there's some really freak show athletes on the defensive line across this league and really good defensive-minded people. Oklahoma State took it to a really great level last year. I think Dave's done a great job at Baylor. That's the great thing about this league. You can't just say I got a great offense and have a bad defense or a great defense and a poor offense and think you're going to win the league. It takes balance, and we're trying to get that balance, as well as, we need to win games on special teams. We spend a ton of time on special teams, and maybe it's a return or something or a punt that's pinned inside the 5 that's going to make a difference.
I think Bill Snyder's teams were always great with special teams.
They absolutely were.
They went from trying to be just a bowl team, and that took them to the next level, and they got to the point where they were amazing.
Yeah, and we've tried to pick that up where he left off and have been really good, either leading the country in kick returns or punt returns, and it flips the field. It's so demoralizing. We blocked, I think it was 4 or 5 punts during the pandemic year, returned 4 kickoffs last year for touchdowns. It's game-changing things, but you got to put the time in and emphasize it.
Hidden yardage.
You're exactly right.
We appreciate you were with us last year to start off our show the first day. You're here again. We appreciate Kenny for bringing you over here. Good luck, man. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for having me, guys.
And we got a lot of Big 12 fans that listen. K-State fans are fired up. I don't know if you can tell or not, but they are looking forward to this year.
Yeah,
no, they are, and it's going to be a great season with a great league, and I'm excited as heck.
You like Jerome Tang?
He's awesome. Isn't Jerome?
Yeah.
He doesn't have any energy, does
No,
he?
none.
Holy cow.
You better be wide awake when he sees you wherever you see him.
Yep, and I've spoken to Dave, and I've spoken to Matt Rule. He wants to call some stuff, and he's going to be at that practice and give me the script, and I'll call it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, Chris.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me,
Thank you, Kenny. Chris Klieman, again, head coach at Kansas State with us. Sikkim 365 Radio and 365 Sports, and we're going to keep it here this almost entire